Now, a bride has taken to social media to complain after one of her guests arrived at the wedding armed with not one but 10 Tupperware containers. I know! That's shocking, I know. And it was to take home food from the buffet.
I was hungry.
But do you know what the justification was? The justification was because her husband wasn't able to come. She said she was taking food home for him.
Oh, my...
Oh, I've got to tell my mum to stop doing that.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Well, we obviously, you know, we all might take home leftovers if you're at a restaurant or something like that. But we asked etiquette expert William Hanson whether, you know, it's ever OK to do something like this. He says taking a doggy bag home from any event in which the food is free is unacceptable, especially weddings and funerals.
Yes.
Taking a Tupperware thing to a funeral. Unless you've been offered a takeaway box by the restaurant or the host, it's just seen as bad etiquette to ask. However, it's becoming more common for the restaurant. It was different in a restaurant if they ask, would you like to take some of these home? But imagine if someone came to your house, you put on the dinner spread and they'd go right with Tupperware.
Yeah, I think it's up to you as the hostess. If you've cooked a nice supper and you don't, you're going somewhere the next day and you want to share it and not offer it, that's fine. But actually, if I'm in a restaurant, I generally don't take a doggy bag, and I look slightly down on the people who do.
I take a doggy bag.
You don't go in with it,
No, I don't go in. If I've paid for an expensive meal and I just can't finish everything off, and, you know, we haven't touched things, I'll say, excuse me, do you mind, could I... And they, you know, they don't go, oh, that's a bit weird. They just go, yes, madam, no problem. They've got these boxes prepared and they go. And especially with children, if they've gone out for a pizza...
You mean you're feeding your children on leftovers from restaurants that you're carrying around London?
No, I don't live in London, darling. I live in Oxford.
All right, you're carrying around... The only leftovers... I am a big fan of leftovers before everybody writes in and says that...
That's why I don't like to waste food. That's why I
don't waste food, but it's my own food that I've cooked, I've prepared it, and I bring it to work every day, and every day I get out my plastic lunchbox and you all go, what are you eating?
You bring in your own flask of coffee as well?
I bring in my own coffee as well.
She doesn't like the coffee here, so she brings in her own.
Yeah, so I think that's good, but, yeah, I am a bit of a snob about leftovers. And as for going to someone's wedding, that is
Well, yeah, go to the wedding. I mean, you don't take your Tupperware to a wedding.
No. Well, it's not just that, 10.
10?
I mean, that's not just, like, one.
It's a big wedding.
It must have been.
She's expecting a lot of food.
A lot of food.
I mean, yeah, it's all very well at the end of the wedding if somebody goes, listen, help yourself to food, it's going to be wasted and take it, that's fine. But actually what kind of bag did she have with 10 Tupperware? It's a trolley. However, if somebody's going to come to my house with 10 Tupperware boxes, they better have food in them, because I'm not cooking. Because I hate cooking.
By the way, the Queen eats her breakfast every morning out of Tupperware or plastic containers. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with a plastic container.
No.
In fact, I've got a whole cupboard in my kitchen devoted entirely to plastic containers for my meals.
Yeah, well, we put all our cereals in...
Why don't you eat off a plate?
Plastic.
Yeah.
Because I'm carrying it on the train and in the car, and I'm bringing it here, and I like to try, and I'm a big fan of picnics, and I cook food to be eaten over several days.
Yeah.
It's an alien concept.
Do I take... If you went out to a nice restaurant and you couldn't eat all the food and some of it was nice, would you take a doggy bag?
I think nowadays they always ask, oh, would you like us to box it up and take it home? And the only reason I 9 times out of 10 say no is I know they're going to box it up and it won't be eaten, and then I've got to do the whole recycling and get rid of it all.
Oh, I
so
see.
I end up going, no, it's fine, because it's never eaten. But, yeah, the boys certainly would if they went for something and they had loads left over, they'd bring it home.
Well, I don't own a microwave, so I wouldn't know what to do with that.
Put it in the oven.